Welcome students, parents, and everybody else who wanted to check me out on the World Wide Web. These notes are primarily for students who missed them. Maybe you missed a day out of class, you were sick, or students who just want to review, maybe for a quiz or for a test. Either way, let's go. These notes will be fast-paced. I'm going to move way faster than I do in class. However, if it's too fast, just pause or rewind. The title of these notes, Notes-Earth's Atmosphere. We just spent the entire 4 weeks, or the last 4 weeks, studying space, outer space. We studied each and every last planet except Earth. For the whole simple reason, for the rest of this year, we're going to be studying Earth specifically. So we skipped it during the solar system because we're going to start now. And we're going to start from space and move our way down. So here we go. Earth's atmosphere. In other words, Earth's sky. Definition of atmosphere. Here we go. The blanket of gases that surround a planet. The blanket of gases that surround a planet. That's the definition that it has in our book. However, it's pretty much just our sky, or the air that's above our surface. That's our atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. Everything else, just that 1%, is carbon dioxide, argon, hydrogen, about 10 other gases that make up our atmosphere, plus water vapor, the same thing that causes rain. Here we go. Again, it's the blanket of gases that surround a planet, not just our planet, but any planet. Earth's atmosphere is composed mostly of nitrogen, exactly 78%, give or take a few, so I wouldn't say exactly. And when it comes to oxygen, it's about 21%. So 80% nitrogen, 20% oxygen. Very different. A lot of people don't believe that because we believe that because we breathe oxygen, most of our atmosphere, or most of our air must be oxygen. Incorrect. Most of our air is actually nitrogen. However, it's more than enough oxygen for us to survive. Way more than enough. Here we go. More facts. Earth's atmosphere is made up of 5 different layers, and each layer has its own characteristics. Again, Earth's atmosphere is made up of 5 different layers, and each layer has its own characteristics. Each one is very different. I'm going to pinpoint it here, starting at the bottom. The part that has the yellow and some mountains and trees, that's the troposphere. In fact, that's the only place that humans, animals, and plants can live, at that very bottom layer of our atmosphere. Right above that, you have the stratosphere. In fact, our ozone layer is located within the stratosphere. Above that, you have the mesosphere, our coldest layer. And our thickest layer is actually the thermosphere, the warmest layer. I know that's odd because we know that space is very, very cold. But the higher you go up, it's almost as if the warmer it gets. Strange. I'll explain. Here we go. Let's start at the bottom. The troposphere, of course, is the first layer, and it's the lowest layer and the closest to the ground. The only layer at which humans, plants, and animals can live, and all the weather from tornadoes to hurricanes, thunderstorms, all weather occurs within the troposphere. That's why it's sometimes known as the weather layer. I'll repeat, the troposphere is the first layer, it's the lowest layer and the closest to the ground. It's the only layer at which humans, plants, and animals can live, and it's also known as the weather layer. Next we have the stratosphere, and it's so important because the ozone layer is located within the stratosphere, and we know that the ozone layer keeps many of us from being exposed to too much radiation. The ozone layer protects us from ultraviolet rays which come from the sun. Now, this is ironic because a lot of the things that we do, or were doing, we're getting better at it now, was putting holes or damaging our ozone layer, which was letting way too much UV rays, too much radiation to our surface. Letting too much UV rays make it to our surface. But hopefully we've corrected that problem, and now our planet has stopped warming, and we won't be as exposed to UV rays or radiation. And we know that radiation causes cancer. The third layer within our atmosphere is the coldest. is known as the mesosphere. The mesosphere is the coldest layer, and if you've seen the movie Iron Man, when you first get his suit and he's starting to skyrocket into the sky, he's just trying it out, having fun. Then all of a sudden his suit starts to freeze up and malfunction, and he's falling all the way back down to the surface. And right before he hit the ground, of course, it's a movie, it starts working again. But that area in the sky in which he froze up, if you're thinking scientifically, that must have been the mesosphere, because that's our coldest layer. Our fourth layer, the thermosphere, now it's the hottest. Now, here's where it's strange. The mesosphere is the middle layer, the third layer, and it's the coldest. But right above that, even though you're getting closer to space, it's even hotter. It's even hotter. That's a phenomenon unknown to any scientist, anybody. Why it gets so hot? Who knows? Who knows? Also know this, the ionosphere, which is an area of charged particles, is located in the thermosphere. Now, the ionosphere makes all radio transmissions possible. So whenever we used to communicate, especially military, through radio waves, that would not be possible through the ionosphere. And of course, your favorite radio station, whether it's 92.3, Alice, 101.1, you couldn't listen to the radio if it wasn't for the ionosphere, which is located in the thermosphere. Just a little quick fact about the ionosphere. It also causes the aurora that we see, like the northern lights that we see in Alaska and different parts close to the Arctic. The last layer, the top layer, is the exosphere. Real simple. Not many facts about that, except it's our last layer of air, our last layer of sky before we make it into outer space. The exosphere is the highest layer of the atmosphere, and part of the exosphere is actually outer space. And I'm going to sum it up with another picture, the same one we've seen before. Let's review. The bottom layer, you see the part that's in yellow, that's the troposphere. That's where we live. The stratosphere, which is right above that, is the second layer. The ozone layer is in the stratosphere as well. Remember that. Above that, right there in the middle, our third layer is the mesosphere. It's the coldest. The fourth layer is the hottest. And the ionosphere is located in the thermosphere. And last but not least, at the very, very top, right before you get to space, that's the exosphere. Exosphere. And that's the end. Hope you all learned a little bit or a lot. But I'm out. See y'all later. This is Mr. Guest, another Green Apple Productions, signing out.